Hello everybody, this is the top stocks to watch for the week of September 6th. Let's get right into this week's video. Alright ladies and gentlemen, starting off our week with our first and foremost fundamental drivers that we have coming up in this upcoming week. As of this week, we do not have much. We had a lot of news last week, so it's very refreshing that we don't have too much going on in this upcoming week. A little bit weird times this week, I will say. 10 a.m. on Tuesday, we have our ISM services PMI numbers coming out. And besides that, Thursday at 9:10 a.m., we usually have 9:30 or 9 o'clock, so the 9:10 is a little interesting. But 9:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when Fed Chair Powell speaks. Let's see what he's talking about. This week, he is due to participate in a moderated discussion at the Cato Institute's annual monetary conference via satellite. So, probably not too high impact, but definitely something to be aware of moving into this upcoming week, keeping our eye on the markets around market open on Thursday. So besides that, as you can see on screen right now, is your earnings in the S&P 500 for this upcoming week as well. So, as of the last couple of weeks, we did have some amazing calls on this series. Namely AMD, Nvidia, SPY, Apple, QQQ, Tesla, all of those names we've been able to accurately predict the last couple of weeks. So I hope you guys were able to take advantage of those moves, especially on AMD. That was a really great move that we were able to catch. But moving into this week's technical analysis, we are continuing our move to the downside. So we had quite important news come in on Thursday and Friday of this last week. That is the fact that we invalidated our bullish impulse move. So in order for our bullish impulse move to be valid and active, we needed to stay above the price of 393. As you can see, since then we have broken through 393 and closed beneath 393 on Friday's end of day. So this is quite bearish, invalidating that bullish impulse move in terms of an Elliott Waves theory framework. If you're not familiar with Elliott Wave theory, we have tons of resources on the channel, tons of resources on the OBR YouTube channel. Be sure to check those out. But viewing the market through an Elliott Wave framework as we do, it did indeed invalidate the bullish impulse move, but that's okay because now we are keeping our eye on the bearish impulse move. Because of our invalidation, this shows that instead of this move that we had being the actual recovery, it was indeed just a retracement. And I apologize if you can hear my cat. He is smacking some strings right next to me. But now that we see that this is indeed a correction, and now we are in a continuation of the downwards trend, we can keep our eye on that. So I'm keeping a very close eye on a 5-wave move to the downside on SPY in this upcoming week. Maybe see the end of wave 3 or, potentially wave 4 retracement before we continue to the downside. Apple is going to be a very similar situation. As you can see, we've been riding this downtrend very, very nicely around the same rejection we had on SPY, which we did call out on this series if you're new. But we had this breakdown of this head and shoulders, and we are still playing out the head and shoulders right now. I'm still expecting Apple to come down to the 151 range before a really nice retracement we see, but definitely could retrace anytime in the meantime. The market has been trending down viciously recently, and we are due for a correction, but just because we are due for one does not mean that it has to happen now. So keeping a very close eye on a correction in the upcoming weeks, but overall, really looking for a continuation. So the same thing applies to Apple. We did get a bit of a double bottom here on Apple towards the end of the day on Friday, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, but I'm not too worried. We'll have to see how we open on Tuesday, because Monday is a bank holiday. Moving back into our fundamental drivers, Monday is a bank holiday, so happy Labor Day for anybody celebrating. QQQ also had a double bottom, very similar to SPY and Apple, but it is following the same exact premise as our other tickers that we were just looking at. A 5-wave move to the downside is really what we're now expecting. So highlighting that 5-wave move, we have waves 1, waves 2, waves 3, looking for wave 4 to play out, and then wave 5 to take us to the downside. Wave 3 may not be over, we may indeed come lower, just like on SPY, and then move higher. A little bit hard to tell as of right now, but definitely still looking at a more bearish theme overall. And again, because of the price action we'll be able to see recently, I am really expecting us to make new lows on SPY and QQQ. So that's something I'll look for, not necessarily in this upcoming week unless things got very interesting, but definitely moving into the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. So Tesla broke down from that triangle that we had, this wedge rather, that we formed and told you guys about last week. But now that we are breaking down, I'm looking to see a continuation, looking to see a gap fill eventually at 247. We know Tesla is very, very volatile. We are still above our multi-month consolidation high, which is right here. And until we get back beneath that, it's hard to be too bearish on Tesla, but obviously we are correcting right now. So I'm looking to see either a bounce from this level or a break. That's going to be a real key indicator for us. And then the levels that we're looking for is 260 for a break and 265 for a bounce. As you can see on the 1 hour, looks like we are going to continue to the downside. Oil finally gave us that move we were looking for off of our resistance here. Kind of faked this out, but now we are back at our lows for the last little bit. So I'm expecting us to continue to the downside. It is, of course, in the cards that we, instead of continuing, bounce off of this support that we've been continuously forming here, right here, and then continue to the upside. So we'll definitely have to keep that in mind. But overall, expecting oil to continue and hopefully, hoping for it to continue to the downside as well. So again, looking at Chevron, Exxon for that. NEO, we said we were looking for an explosive move to the upside on NEO. We kind of got that last week, but then it just continued to fall. So not really. So just kind of paying attention to this, but not too closely. Waiting for a breakout to the upside. I don't really want to play NEO to the downside unless we get back beneath our low here at 1190. And in NVIDIA, we had this inverse head and shoulders that we had play out, right? I can quickly highlight that for you again. Left shoulder, head. We did call this out on the channel, but we also said that if we don't break the neckline, it's never valid. What did we not do? We never broke the neckline. The trade was never validated. As you can see, we bounced off the neckline and then just completely capitulated and now invalidating this head and shoulders. So I am expecting a continuation to the downside out of NVIDIA. So everybody, that was all I have for you this week. I hope you were able to take something out of this video that was helpful, something that you can bring into this upcoming week and hopefully make some money with. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, on behalf of everybody at OBR Investing, happy trading, and I will see you in the next video.